Hello and welcome. It's been a while, but today we are in the Tier 10 Japanese battleship Shikishima. Because it's been a while, I am quite rusty. This was literally my second game that I played when I came back. The first one was about 7 minutes long, so I figured that wasn't a very good one for a video. So I picked the second one, so I can see what I am like when I haven't played the game in a while. I genuinely don't remember some things, such as whether some cruisers have torpedoes. It's kinda odd. Anyway, this match does not have an aircraft carrier, but there are 3 destroyers per team, 4 cruisers, and, well, 5 battleships as a result of that. It is a tier 8 to 10 battle, but we will be mostly fighting. Actually, I suppose that's a tier 8 cruiser and a tier 9 battleship. But we get to fight those. I decided to head over to the map edge because we're fighting on the fire map. I forgot what the name it is. It used to be really red in the past. But I decided to go for the edge of the map because Shikishima turret traverse is fairly slow. And if I can put... But her range is really long, so if I can put most of the enemy team on like the same angle, maybe I can switch targets more easily, and perhaps it'll give me a little flanking opportunity. But until we actually get to the edge, we get to fight ships like that Soyuz. And I think we aren't actually going fully towards the edge, because there's a... Oh, never mind! Ouch! Ouch! Wow! Soyuz, I don't think that was a good move. But as I was saying, there's probably an Atag over there, so I'm not sure if I should actually push. And if there's a cruiser, there might be a destroyer. Especially when there's a battleship coming along too. They don't just go somewhere completely randomly. And considering we have 2 destroyers here on the decap, and we can only see a vampire on the enemy team, well, actually no, I guess there can't be another destroyer, because there's only 3 destroyers and we have seen where the gearing is, we have seen where the Shimakas is, and we know where the vampire is. So I suppose I shouldn't be too worried about being torped here, but still, I shouldn't be too aggressive. It is still early in the match and no team has lost any ships. So the plan here is to go slightly out here, maybe we'll find the Atago or the Soyuz, take a shot or 2 and then turn out again. I'm not going down this line. Oh! Well, I guess the Atago guessed torps, or just aimed them well. One of them did land. That's 7,600 damage. Well, slightly less than that. But other than that, I'm fine. Also, the keybinds were changed for some reason, a little bit. Maybe it was reset or something, because my buttons weren't the buttons I usually had them on. But anyway, I'm turning out. I'm not going down this path, because it could be really dangerous. We haven't seen the vampire in a while, we haven't seen the Shimakaze in a while, and, well, I didn't get to see the Atago or the Soyuz, and it's entirely possible that they would just focus me down, especially with the Kearsarge coming along. Oh! Maybe we can take out the Baltimore. I mean, seriously. Yeah, no, that Baltimore is so dead. She has only 9k HP. Well, less than that. Yeah, that Baltimore is gone. This is excellent news. Although we did lose one of our own destroyers, but hey. You know, the numbers are still... Never mind, the numbers are not even anymore because we now lost a battleship. A Lepanto that was too aggressive. Hello, Mr. Aircraft Carrier. Sorry, I mean battleship. I guess we'll focus the Kearsarge because she's basically broadside. And she's clearly flying her plane, so she isn't going to maneuver her ship. Wait, how is she firing her guns while flying the plane? No, seriously, look, the plane's flying and the guns are... What? Did they change something about this? Because last time you had to fly the planes manually, so you could not fire the guns. Or maybe the guns were fired way earlier. Oh well. Regardless, the strike didn't do much because, well, it's against a Shikishima, and Shikishima has a pretty decent anti-air. Not to mention it has pretty decent armor against rocket planes. And I think our dear Kearsarge here is going to be dead in a bit. Actually, I thought that salvo was gonna finish her, but I guess not. Friedrich der Grosse gets that honor instead. Anyway, I've been sailing behind islands, so this has kept me relatively safe from torpedoes. Except that one that I hit, but we haven't seen Shimakaze in a while. So either she is stalking the Friedrich der Grosse unsuccessfully, or she has changed positions. And she might actually be over here on our side. Oh, never mind, there she is. Okay, well, I don't really need to worry about Shimakaze's torpedoes, because look at where she appeared, and there's an island between us. If she had tried to torpedo me, the island would have blocked that. So I don't have to worry about it. Which is pretty damn good news for me. If I had been somewhere more open, then I would definitely have to worry about Shimakaze's torpedoes. Even if she had launched none of them at me, I wouldn't have a way of knowing that, right? Until, well, the torpedoes would arrive or wouldn't arrive. Oh hey, there's the Soyuz. Wow, actually I've lost 60,000 HP. It really doesn't feel like I have taken much damage, but I can't heal it up either. Then again, I have used a bunch of my heals already as well. Okay, so what do they have over there on that side of the map? So they have the Soyuz. The Shimakaze is actually gone, thanks to the Holland. Thank you very much. There is a Vampire somewhere. And that's it, right? That is just the Soyuz. So, what I can do is I can close the distance on the Soyuz and just fight her bow on. She cannot overmatch my bow. I can definitely overmatch the top part of her bow. I'm not entirely certain if I can overmatch the waterline, because I don't remember what the armor model is like on the Soyuz. Anyway, right now I'm going to stop here for a little while. You see, I stopped. I did a full stop. And it's exactly on the edge of the island, because I don't know where the Vampire was. So she could have just been stalking outside to the right side of where I am right now, looking, and just torpedoed me as I was coming past the island at full speed. This is why I stopped. And I do these kinds of stops all the time when I play near islands, because it just throws off any potential torpedoes. Because if you stop next to the island, obviously the torpedoes can't come through the island. Well, not yet. They can't come underneath the island either, because that's not how islands work. And so stopping like that throws torps off, and they were almost guaranteed to not get torped when you then speed up later, especially if you don't get seen while you're stopping there. So, because the Shikishima has the same cheek armor as the Yamato, it is extremely important that I am completely bow on, that I don't try to bring my rear turret into this fight. Because if I show a little too much sight, that Soyuz can definitely citadel me from the cheek armor. Therefore, I need to make sure I keep my bow pointed at the Soyuz, so that her AP shells will ricochet off of the bow armor instead. Meanwhile, I'm gonna aim higher, because as I said, I don't remember whether the Soyuz has waterline protection on the bow or not. But I definitely know that if she does have protection on the waterline, it won't extend to the top parts of the bow. But the Soyuz is gone, so now we can turn our ship again. And the focus will be on... Actually, there's nothing to focus. I'm gonna head towards the cap zone. I am a little worried about the Vampire, but luckily the Vampire had decided to go more towards the middle of the map. There's also the Atago to consider. A potential Zao, but I don't think we have to worry too much about the Zao. Her torps might be a problem, but I haven't been spotted for a while, so it's unlikely anybody will get a good read on my position and heading. Because I'm turning, so obviously it would throw things off. Okay, Vampire's coming back, and so is the Zao. The Zao is the obvious focus target here, because, well, it would be nice if we could take out the Vampire. I can't citadel her, and, well, hitting a destroyer is even harder than hitting a cruiser that I already cannot hit, apparently. Although, this was a mistake. Calling out the Zao as a target was a mistake. I shouldn't have called out any target, because obviously the vampire is the priority in that kind of a situation. And I probably should have actually taken a shot on the vampire, but oh well. But, I mean, 26,000 on the Zao is pretty good too. So right now, you see the island that's a little bit to the left of the Zao between me and the Zao. That island is going to give me protection from torpedoes. It's only a little bit in the middle of the cap, but that's what gives me protection from torpedoes. Because obviously Zao has torpedoes, Vampire has torpedoes. I can use that island right there to effectively just stop a little bit behind it, and so that any torpedoes would pass in front of me. Hello Vampire, would you like some AP shells too? Although I suspect she's going to accelerate out of them. Oh, Atago is a little further along than I thought. I should have turned a little earlier. This is gonna be a bit dangerous, because, you know, Atago could torp me. Now the question is, does the Riga have torpedoes? And I don't remember. I think she... No, actually, I don't remember. I know something in the Soviet cruiser line has torps, but I also know the Petra doesn't. Did the Riga have torps? I think no, but I'm gonna ask chat. These are Atago torpedoes. So yeah, I turned a little too late, so I ended up taking another one for 75, 88, and oh, and the third one too. Oh. Well, I suppose that guy has landed 3 torpedoes on me as a heavy cruiser. Pretty well done, but now though, I think that was completely worth it because we're safe. I still have 34,000 HP, I still have 1 extra heal left. The vampire is probably unlikely to pop out to try to actually shoot and torp me, because she's probably going to take a lot of damage in return. And me just stopping where I am is relatively safe, especially if we can avoid this torp. Yep. The first set was the Atago's torps, the second set is vampire torpedoes. So now I am safe, I can just go forward, there is nothing, I can even show broadside to this gap in front of me, because there's nothing that can really threaten me from there. The vampire cannot citadel me, obviously, because it's a destroyer, and oh, vampire is actually... she's actually firing at me, wow, why? I don't understand. What were you thinking, vampire? The Shikishima obviously has decent secondaries, and I didn't fire my rear turret. Well, I mean, this is excellent news, because now I can just stop right here. And I'm actually going to be able to... Never mind, I guess I can't take the cap, because there's a Champagne coming. But I mean, she has 13,000 HP, and she's a battleship that's fairly lightly armored, come on. Ricochet and failed to penetrate. What? Oh no, torpedo protection hit, never mind. Okay, I guess maybe the Champagne is a little tougher of a target than I thought, but I still have double her HP and I still have a heal, and if I don't show the cheek armor, the Champagne just doesn't do all that much damage to me. Meanwhile, I have the potential to just completely delete her. Overall though, in the match, we're actually behind. We're in a 4 versus 5 and the enemy has almost 300 points on us. And we don't even have the equal amount of caps. I mean, I am taking our second cap right now. But the Champagne is obviously stopping me from doing that. So we might not even get that anytime soon. Besides, there's also that Atago that could come around this island here to ambush me any moment. Sure, the Atago would probably die, but so would I, because, you know, she launches torps and they will be unavoidable and I'll be left with like 5k HP and then Champagne finishes me off. Although maybe we can just go unspot it, like this. 25 seconds on the cap. Although this alone won't actually change the game. We have to sink a few of them and then potentially lock a third cap even. I launched a scout plane to be able to potentially see a glimpse of the Atago if she's going to be around the island. I would turn my anti-air off, except the button that I usually have bound for that is G, and it doesn't work. So, because the keybinds had changed, I couldn't turn the AA off. And potentially that could have given away my position, So if the Champagne was feeling lucky, she could have taken a shot to try to reset the cap. But we're fine. And even better than fine, the Zao took out Yatago, so I don't have to worry about the torpedoes, and can simply focus on the Champagne, who is actually closing the distance, which means that we're definitely going to win this fight as long as I don't show cheek armor to her. All I have to do is land 2 shells into the bow and she's guaranteed dead. Come on. Excellent. And now I guess I have to go for the sea cap. It is a little complicated because we don't know where the gearing is exactly. And I don't remember the last time we saw the gearing, so I don't know where she could be. Maybe that gearing last position was like 5 minutes ago, and she's like right in front of me, but oh well. I'm gonna try to take a long-range shot on the Yamato, since I still had the scout plane up. I don't think it's gonna do too much, but Yamato does only have 20,000 HP. If we get a few lucky shots hitting, that could potentially give our FDG the opportunity to sink that Yamato. 2 over penetrations, but that's still 4,000 damage. That's 20% of the HP she had left, but oh my! This is an even juicier target. 3,000 HP on an FDG? 1,400 HP? 2 overpens are enough to sink her. Come on! Excellent! Wait, what? 1 overpen and 1 ricochet and that was enough? I guess that 1 overpen must have done the damage of 2 overpens then. Like it overpenned 2 sections of the ship to deal enough damage. Or, wait, maybe Shikishima's base damage is enough to do it with 1 shell actually. I don't remember. No, yeah, actually it should be enough, right? It's 10% and Shikishima almost does 20,000 damage. Yeah, wow, okay. Yeah, see? Overpen did 1940 damage, so 1 shell would have been enough. Come on! 2 overpens on this Yamato and she will be history. We're only 100 points behind. Well, a little. 102 points. Which could actually become really important because there's only 40 seconds to go. Ooh. And we got a Kraken Unleashed, which heals us because I have Yamamoto on. Yeah, look, see, we're 2 points behind. If I wasn't going for this cap, this could have been extremely bad for us. Just 2 points. And I entered the cap, 15 seconds before, and this gives us a victory. Now, you might have asked, why didn't I sail directly towards the cap? And the problem was, I didn't know where the gearing was. And maybe she would have been in front of me and just torpedoed me when I was going for the cap. The angle I was going was, I think, a safer angle. And once I saw the gearing torpedoes on the Zao, I decided to turn in again. But it was a risky choice, because I didn't know the exact time I would have left. Because I knew we were behind, and we needed to block the cap for at least a few seconds. But I mean, it worked out perfectly, so it's fine, I guess. I mean, I got a Confederate, a Close Quarters Expert, a Dreadnought, a Kraken Unleashed. I kept the base so low as a battleship, 179k damage, 2,254 base XP. I mean, I genuinely can't really ask more than what I got from this game, considering it was my 2nd game in a long time. Maybe it's time to stop again, because I don't think game number 3 is gonna be any better than this. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.